You are listening to the Mohua Show, where it's all about celebrating the Junoon among changemakers and their journey.
Every stage in a woman's life is very different from the stage of a
Yeah,
man's life. Yeah. I
damn,
mean,
Kathy.
I have no idea why we as women feel that let's not talk about it. Nahi, main theek hu. No, she's always raring to go. So I think what has happened is we've tried telling ourselves that I'm a superwoman. I don't want to talk about it. So my problem here is not about society. It is about we who aren't aware.
Mothers, they're getting like a lot of stuff wrong, with their kids' diet, despite the best intentions. And everybody's talking, oh, gut ka khayal rakhna hai. Or what we see is that there's diabetes and even puberty that's starting at a very early age. So,
Yeah.
what's been the shift in the last decade?
We as Indians, the way we eat, we need chaach and we need dahi. That is why those two have been always the most important. Tell me one community that does not know dahi and chaach.
Food is fuel, but it's also comfort, celebration, culture, control. It's a very tough word there. And sometimes chaos, especially when your body isn't playing by the rule book, which is very often. Today's episode dives deep into the silent battles so many women face with their health, from PCOS, weight plateaus, and early onset diabetes to the emotional tug of war with food, which I suffer from. Why are more and more young women developing fatty liver and kidney stones? What's really behind the early onset of puberty in kids? And why is your gut health the first place to start looking? We're pulling back the curtain on popular diets, so called superfood protein powder, and misleading health labels. Is Greek yogurt really better than dahi? Does chai deserve its bad reputation? And what actually is causing sudden cardiac arrest in young, fit Indians? To discuss all this and more, today we have a special guest on our show, Kathy Rupani, founder and chief nutritionist at balancenutrition.in, through which she has empowered over 30,000 people worldwide with 2,000 plus recipes, diet plans, and wellness guides. From helping people manage lifestyle through food to building one of India's most trusted digital wellness platforms, her journey has been anything but ordinary. Welcome, Kathy, in today's episode. So, you've lived this journey PCOS, weight loss, motherhood. When did food stop become just fuel and start becoming emotional for you? Because I suffer a lot with emotional eating.
See, I think Momo, every single Indian has a deep rooted connection with food. For us, food is recreation. For us, food is a symbol of the family showing respect towards somebody who's no more with them, to somebody who's welcome in. This is what food is for one and all. So, emotional connect with food, I don't think anyone here doesn't have it, right? It's nostalgia, it's everything. But when it gets to a level which starts harming your health, that is when the worry starts. And for me also, it started back in time when the first time I heard someone call me Golu. It was out of pure love, but I think initially, just because it was out of love, I felt that could be my identity. It was about 4 years, 5 years, being an obese kid. Then, when the Golu started becoming mooti and when it started feeling like this doesn't sound pleasant, the war became even intense and severe. I started, emotional eating way more than I was probably doing it. I started hiding from people. Mom used to ask me, where is the laddu, the extra one? No answers. It's inside in the middle of the night. So, yeah, it's a long battle.
PCOS, hormones and weight loss truths. So what is PCOS and why is it still misunderstood? I mean, even by women who have it, and every time I talk to women today, everybody seems to have PCOS.
Yeah.
क्या हो रहा है?
Momo, there are two parts to any story, okay? One, social media plays a big role. So, words like fatty liver, inflammation, and PCOS have been doing their rounds very periodically on social media. Understanding of PCOS, let's blame it on also our education system. Me being a nutritionist, I wanted to specialize in clinical nutrition. PCOS was a paragraph for me. That's it. And for me, it's not coming in the portion. Delete. So what happened to me was, I tell you, it was just by accident. I was the chief dietitian in Leelavati Hospital, very young, used to work 19 hours sometimes, pure out of passion. One day, I just happened to see a gynecologist who was my dear friend, Dr. Kiran Pass. And I told her, Dr. Kiran, I don't think I've got my periods in the last 2 months. She very fleetingly said, come to the OPD in the evening. I went. She said, you know what, just get this test done. That is when the whole world of PCOS opened up that, hey, you know what? There is an ovary that you have. That ovary can produce cysts. And this is because of estrogen and progesterone imbalances that happen in the body. The reasons for that were many. The first one was obviously being overweight. Second one was a genetic predisposition. Third one was the lifestyle I was living. So rather than understanding a lot about why did it happen to me, I started getting into, okay, what is it that happens and how to prevent it. So, but this was my own research, my own study, my own, there's no book. There's no textbook that tells you how to deal with PCOS, especially with regards to nutrition. So, yeah, that's what I started doing. Yeah, Moa. I just opened it and I started practicing it.
Amazing, Kyati. So, how do hormonal shifts throughout a woman's life, from menstruation to menopause impact her nutritional needs? Menopause is still so misunderstood. People don't want to talk about it. There's shame attached with it. So tell us a little bit more there.
When it comes to our health, okay, forget menarche, forget pregnancy, forget getting a period, menopause, perimenopause. Why, I have no idea why we as women also feel that let's not talk about it. Nahi, nahi, main theek hu. Everywhere, whether it is tier 2, tier 1, whether it's moms, whether it's us, whether it's the modern woman having 10, helpers, okay, the super ultra rich category, she will still not say, hey, you know what, I don't think I feel good today. No, she's always raring to go. So I think what has happened is we've tried telling ourselves that I'm a superwoman. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know if anybody really has a problem. Okay, whether the society should be blamed. I think it's us. And do we go and talk about, like, today, if I'm not feeling great, I'm not going to come to office and say I'm not feeling great, or I won't even allow myself a break, including me. So my problem here is not about society. It is about we who aren't aware. And awareness, now, mama, thodi, a little bit of it is just starting out. And I'll tell you, it's starting out in tier 1. So, understanding of menopause, especially with regards to perimenopause, right now, just because it's all over social media, it's a little misunderstood. People try to, start taking hormonal tests, but nobody is trying to connect with themselves. Hey, you know what? I think I'm feeling this way. Subclinical symptoms, which is what we are going to talk about through and through, at least at Balanced Nutrition, because every stage in a woman's life is very different from the stage of a
Yeah.
man's life. Yeah. I mean,
Damn. Kati. God damn.
and you know what? It's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be celebrated. Puberty is celebrated. Getting pregnant celebrated. Delivery is celebrated. I have no clue why has it become so crazy that instead of celebrating it, we are all talking about it in a way that, oh God, why am I a woman? Why is this happening to me? Hey, listen, you know what? It will. It's beautiful. Just embrace it and learn to deal with it. Also, Moha, what I want to highlight here is nutrition plays the most important role in every phase of a woman's life. Can you believe it? We ignore that the most.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a new language, Kati, now, that people are talking.
plus, I'll tell you what, it wasn't spoken about, but our dadis and nannies knew all the tricks.
Yeah.
They knew the magic of Jaifal. They knew the magic of Haldi. They knew the magic of Gond Katira, which is right now being spoken about so much. They
Yeah.
knew the magic of seasonal fruits. They knew the magic of sabja seeds. I mean, every time I used to feel anything, I remember Dadi or Mami coming and saying, take 2 spoons of this, you should be fine by tomorrow. Or start adding this to your diet. Why aren't you having this? It's just forgotten. We've got busy. We like taking things out of a packet or a Tetra pack or a bottle, and we, are forgetting it. But yes, talking about nutrition is, and not because I am a nutritionist, but we should, right? Food heals, food nurtures,
100%.
food helps you grow.
Yes, totally agree. So I have to ask you this question. So many people struggle with sustainable weight loss. I have for sure, even when they're eating right. Of course, I have my moments where I have eaten something bad and, you feel guilty about it. And I have lost a lot of weight and I've again gained it right back. So what is it that I'm missing and women like me are missing?
See, the human body or the human brain does not understand the word no. So the moment we think we are going on a diet, we think there's a big list of no's. So while I was 100 kilos, okay, and I have meaningfully kept 40 kg away up until my 40s. Let's see now, okay, it's a battle always after 40. But what I did was I tried to not tell my brain no. So I started finding tricks. I started finding, let's say emotional uh, tweakers in the brain that, okay, what if I eat this whole pastry? Shit, no, I'm going to feel totally guilty. And the guilt trip is going to be far worse than enjoying this. Chal, kya karte hai? Initially, it started by eating half a pastry, just half that portion. I felt better and I felt powerful because I could leave the other half. Finally, I've graduated today to what we call as the 2 by 2. Anything you like, it's in front of you. It is not going to go away, boss. Till you put that thing in your mouth, it's not going away. And
True.
see, it would if you're being paid 10 crores. If you're going to be on screen, you need to have that mindset. No, boss, here we have children, we have a life, we have office, we have to cook at times, we have to juggle. Boss, that rasgulla is going nowhere. You learn to deal with it, okay? So that is what I did first. Second, I failed plenty of times. Okay, and I gave up. I was like, go to hell. And the motivating factors once was no conception because PCOS is infertility. Chalo, morale was very high. Second time I helped my little one, all this started paining. And I was 100. So I'm like, shit, is it going to be that I'm not going to be able to play with her? Motivation. But your motivation, today she's 16. So motivation to be able to carry that on has
Yeah.
not been easy. It has been, okay, let me eat this, let me eat that. So, you won't believe more. In the last 16 years, I have devised a guide called as the restaurant guide. You want to go out, you want to eat Chinese, I'll tell you how. You're going for, let's say, even a Beiruti cuisine or a Japanese, I'm telling you how. Right? So I started circling around things that actually made people sustain their weight. Okay.
Okay.
That is the reason probably, we still don't count calories. In Magic Moa, if I tell you, count your calories every day.
I'll die.
The word calorie deficit, kya farak padta hai? I just have to educate clients, people, population as to how to plate your meal. You're a Bengali, this is how you plate your meal. Gujju, this is how you plate your meal. Plating and portions is understood really, really well by the brain. Okay, now see what I'm doing. This is a mug. Hey, now I say I had a cup of tea. Cup ye hai. This is cup. And this is a mug. So double, right? So these are the things I educate people on, or all nutritionists should educate people on. There's a teaspoon and a tablespoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the practical guidelines and education that work. Okay, nothing else. Calorie counting doesn't work. Restrictive diets don't work. Having food as per your clock does not work. Okay, because we have air hostesses. What do I tell you? A poor thing is landed at 3 a.m. I'll tell her, sorry, boss, sleep. Window over. No, she was serving people that she needs to eat at 3. So, according to life schedules, according to availability and also budget, it's easy. It's not as hard as it sounds to be.
So, everybody's talking about inflammation. So, can inflammation be the real reason behind stubborn weight gain, especially for women? What's the science behind it? Thinking of, like, especially I've seen Vidya Balan talk about it. She was quite public about her struggle there. So, what is it that you tell clients, who've hit a plateau, people like me, and feel stuck despite doing everything? I don't think I do everything right. In weight loss, there are people who do everything that's right, and yet they're stuck. So, what do you do? What do you tell them?
You've asked me 2 questions. I'll
Yeah.
answer them 2 parts. First is inflammation. Uh, inflammation was taught to us in first year degree college. So it is just that it became a popular word when Vidya Balan used it, and he was right. Okay. Every single person who is overweight, okay, who is puffed, who is struggling to sleep, has some kind of inflammation. Now, what is inflammation? If I tell you in common language, we used to fall down as kids, we used to get hurt, right? That redness, okay, used to be something that we loved. Band-aid lagate the. That is inflammation. That is inflammation you're seeing. But now inside, the hormones are not functioning really well. The liver is coming to grade 1 and grade 2 fatty liver. The body is trying to tell you and give you a signal by releasing certain pheromones, releasing certain compounds, which are giving you symptoms of I need to relax, I need to sleep, I'm too stressed. These are signals telling your body that you have inflammation. The most common complaint about constipation, acidity, and gut issues, that is also some sort of inflammation. But I'll tell you what, Mahua, we have been dealing with inflammation since the time I was practicing at the age of 23 in Leelavati Hospital. It is just that it has become a known thing to now the population, which is great because they are getting awareness out of it. How do we deal with inflammation? We deal with inflammation depending on the degree of inflammation the person has. Usme bhi, there are a lot of companies trying to make money by giving you markers and telling you blood tests. Don't deal with it like that. Your body tells you, talk to your body. The day you are very stiff, the day you can't get up, the day your jeans doesn't fit you, this is if continuing for more than a week, you are in severe inflammatory state. What you need to do is then you need to visit a nutrition expert, not somebody who's asking you to pop tablets. Please correct what is wrong in the diet. I'll tell you, it is a direct relationship. Even if the person eats healthy, that particular month, the person has eaten very unhealthy. Person has traveled, person has had a lot of stress. Cook nahi thi, bahut Swiggy, Zomato ho gaya. That is a very simple marker. Severe inflammation, we try and reduce. Again, I unquote quote, but we do try and reduce gluten for a little bit, a dairy for a little bit, not permanently. We are a gluten eating race. We are a dairy, a dairy was, I think, 2000 years old. तब से हम ले रहे हैं, right?
हाँ.
So, problem here is we are not understanding. When we say gluten ban karenge, that's going to be pizzas, that's going to be the white bread. The pastas here also are maida. The noodles here are maida. Education with regards to nutrition label nahi hai. So we think we are eating healthy. मैंने इतना सा पास्ता खाया रेड सॉस में. Sorry, but that pasta was made using the most refined flour. Have better pasta. So that is the education we have to give. अब आया plateau. Plateau is the body's way of telling you, I need a break. I'm not going to progress further. The way plateaus best are dealt with is one day, just one day, go on a great detox. The detox can be as per your body type. Certain people respond very well to raw. Certain people respond very well to steamed food. Some people respond very well to South Indians. Give them dahi rice, curd rice, give them rasam, and give them buttermilk throughout the day. Super. The next day, they are nice. They feel good. So, this is what we do. Make it simple, make it easy. Also, most plateaus are because getting bored. I'm bored of eating healthy. Yeah. I need a break. Some are because of invisible calories that we eat. None of us realize the calories ketchup can bring us. None of us realize that the salad that we ate and felt great about, sorry, had olive oil dressing. So this is where the understanding of plateau needs to just come in and be blunt.
Amazing, amazing. So I have to ask you about this, right? How do I reverse my fatty liver? And this is for everyone who wants to know. Is there a way to reverse fatty liver?
Yes, fatty liver, the name might suggest that you are eating a high fat diet. है ना? Unfortunately, it is a cause of eating a diet that is extremely high on refined and processed foods.
Okay.
Extremely high in pav, extremely high in breads, extremely high in, let's say, even a naan, a biscuit. See the way meta just creeps in. See the way the preservatives just creep in. You didn't even realize that, oh, okay, let's say I ate a papdi chaat. Even there, the maida sneaking in. So this is a very big reason also as Indians. We are talking so much about protein deficient, protein deficient. Listen, we were protein deficient in 1000 years. Remember? When you see, why did the British, why could they intimidate us? Taller, more muscular. They are fairer. They came from a land where protein was 50% of their diet. We were farmers. We were somebody who worked hard. We needed our carbs and we were a little nata. And we were always a little lean. We were never tall and muscular. So, usme what happens is we are talking wrongly about protein first, whereas I feel we were always eating a high fiber diet. If you see, it was nachni bhakri, it was makai roti, it was millets down south, brown rice. Go east, the original rice, even if it is white, is unpolished. Something where you eat this much, you will find yourself getting really happy and full, right? We are now become a race that is not having enough fiber. Fruits. Ask anyone on the road today, even at 5 o'clock, सुबह से कितने fruits खाए? Barely one, mostly zero. So where is the fiber coming from? So for me, fatty liver, the only issue is lack of fiber and a ton of invisible fat. Nobody realizes biscuit mein kitna fat hai. Cookies. Nobody even realizes, hey, I'm eating sugar-free cookie. No, but it's not fat-free.
Sugar free cookies. I
Fat-free, no boss. It has more fat than regular cookies. Nutrition labeling. So refined food kha ke is what we are getting fatty liver. Just increase your fiber. Just start eating fruit. Start eating the vegetable, not drinking fruit and drinking vegetable. Start getting a little bit of jawar, a little bit of bajra, a little ragi in your diet. It's going to be good.
So, Kathy, a lot of women have got kidney and gallbladder stones, which is becoming very common. I just recently had my gallbladder surgery, and it was they found out like 4 stones, and I never ever imagined that I would have a gallbladder stone. So, what do you think? Why is this happening, and how is it that people deal with it? And the pain was unbelievable when it started happening.
Fine. So, whenever we are talking about calcification of, let's say, gallbladder secretes bile. Bile is let's say, the best friend to go and digest your oils and fats. Somewhere over the years, Mohua, what has happened is we have changed the fats that we have consumed, and again, we have a lot of invisible fat that we've been eating in years and years and years, including becoming somebody who eats globally, right? So the gallbladder, along with body fat, has gone through a lot of torture, and which leads to some amount of malfunctioning or lesser functioning of that organ than it is required. Right. So, my recommendation always would be, please try eating start and stop window. I wouldn't say do intermittent fasting as a word, but I'd say have a start and a stop time. The body needs to know when the body is off work. Healing happens when you don't give your body work. So, if the last meal is not understood by the body, that after 9 also I'm going to torture her, the body doesn't have any time to rest. The hormones are going haywire. Now, let me come to kidney stones. Acha, can I tell you, Mohua, start cooking khana in coconut oil and butter. Stay away from any vegetable oils because the bile was your friend to be able to digest those fats. Bile is not required to digest butter and coconut. Okay? That is MCTs. You will feel a lot better. You will not be
So now
bloated.
you're telling me with my gallbladder gone, I should move to coconut oil?
Yes, and a little bit of butter because they have MCTs, medium chain triglyceride. They don't need bile. So you will see a substantial amount of difference in your bloating and in your indigestion. You must be feeling terrible after
Yes.
eating meal, right? Try
Yes.
these things. Okay? And come back. How did
100% Kyati. I will come back and, probably give you such a tight hug, because this is something I'm really struggling with. And I didn't have anyone really guiding me, with all of this, Kyati.
and
So,
everybody would have told you mirchi kam kha, ye kam kar.
exactly.
Not about the mirchi, Mohua. Your stomach is not removed. Okay, the pepsin that digests and helps you assimilate spice is not removed. Gallbladder is gone. That dude was responsible for digesting all your oils, whether it is peanut oil, olive oil, mustard, any oil. Only coconut and butter is what, even makhan, homemade makhan, you can easily digest that. Not even ghee. Ghee becomes high source of saturated fat. Try this. They don't need bile. They will just help get digested. And then you will feel so good. You'll feel relieved in your stomach.
I shall start that like from now. So, let's talk. Everybody's talking about gut health, and so let's just talk about, mothers. They're getting like a lot of stuff wrong, with their kids' diet, despite the best intentions. And, like everybody's talking, oh, gut ka khyaal rakhna hai. Or what we see is that there's diabetes and even like puberty that's starting at a very early age. So,
Yeah.
what's been the shift in the last decade?
The shift in the last decade was you and I grew up eating rotis and bhakris. This generation is having, the dabba filled with, let's say, a Cheerios, or let's say sandwiches, or let's say something fancy that's just out of a packet. Again, gut health is the magic ingredients or the magic products for gut health for Indians. Let's not talk about anybody else. Indians is two things. One is your probiotics. Probiotics, my God, the world bows down to us for dahi and chach. We were the pioneers. Forget Greek yogurt. All of those are different bacteria, different enzymes. We as Indians, the way we eat, we need chach and we need dahi. That is why those two have been always the most important. Tell me one community that does not know dahi and chach. Go to East India, go down south, go
Yeah.
up north. Every community, Central India also, sattu छाछ में भी पियेंगे. So this is one thing that we've forgotten. Every meal dahi, impossible. We're not even thinking about it, right? So I am a person who, if is eating noodles for dinner, छाछ चाहिए. No, I'll die otherwise. There's going to be no digestion possible whatsoever. Second is we've forgotten fibers. If you check any Asian, forget even Indian, as a race, agar Asians maybe, if you open any diet, you will find kimchi salad, you will find pickled food, pickled salads, okay, cucumber pickles, you will find all of that. You go and try Mediterranean. It is veggies, it is salads drizzled with a bit of olive oil, but it is fresh produce. Fiber kahan chala gaya hai? As Indians, we also were always about sabzi. Sabzi's been such an integral part.
It is.
But where is it? So, two things for your gut. I don't like complicating things. I don't like giving you kombuchas and all. You have a 5 rupee chat sitting at home. So, these are the things that are missing. Just 2 blocks for gut health, and you're going to be good.
Amazing. Amazing, Khyati. So let's talk about cancer, which is one of the most feared illness today. What can food actually do in preventing or supporting treatment, through different stages when a person is going through this really tough time?
Being a clinical nutritionist, we do get a lot of cases from, varying age groups with dealing with cancer. Based on their requirements, they are into stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. By the time it's stage 1 and stage 2, we can do a lot in terms of adding foods that are going to increase the immunity. We are going to add a lot of protein. And then by the time it is stage 3 or stage 4, appetite's gone for a toss. That is the most challenging time in the life of a nutritionist, when your patient can eat one katori. In that one katori, we have to give that person 4 to 500 kilocalories and give a good amount of fat and give a protein, which is going to be digested by them, but volume is itna. So stages of cancer, it starts right from eating healthy, when the person is able to digest, to eating small volumes, to going through and through with a liquid diet. Lastly, it is also food that goes down through the riles to your body intestine, but that is powder. Prevention के बारे में, if I have to talk, see, I feel food, again, packaged food, very soon there will be research and we will find the number one culprit to be packaged foods. And the saddest part about our country is, Mohua, buy a Kit Kat from India, Indian Kit Kat. Buy a Kit Kat just Japan, yeah, let's say even from Korea, Asian, it is a lot of difference. We have the worst cocoa being used. We are okay with even, preservatives that other countries, which is class 2 and class 3, they won't even allow anyone to put. Same with, ketchup, like Heinz. You see Heinz UK, you see Heinz India. The quality of packaged foods is so bad. Somewhere I think they want to also make it affordable, na? We are masses.
Yes.
So affordability के चक्कर में we are eating a ton more preservatives, a ton more cancer causing agents than the rest of the world. This is one major reason we are getting a lot of cancers.
So tell me,
Which
if
food do
we
you-
buy from 24 Mantra, I think, organic food, how, does that help us? Because I do buy vegetables from 24 Mantra, which is this organic food shop. So 24 Mantra Organic, which is across Bangalore. So tell me a little bit about that. Do you think that will
So,
help?
yeah. See, in India, we are okay to flawed norms. I'm not talking about this particular brand of vegetable, but the lines for calling your product organic are still blurred,
Okay.
right? We can today get away. No country is going to advertise their oil as zero cholesterol.
Yeah.
Mahua, all oils are cholesterol free. It comes from plants. So we can get away with it. Okay, we can call an unhealthy trans fat loaded margarine zero fat bread spread. So you know what you will do? You will go and get that zero cholesterol bread spread and put it Nutrella or Nutella, I think that's called. No, Nutrilite.
Yeah,
Pull up
Nutrilite.
Nutrilite. लगा के खाओगे, but then that is full of trans fat. So in India, we can get away with a lot. Organic food in India still is, people are learning about it, even the manufacturers. And you think any manufacturer will want to take a loss? In India, it's okay. कहीं पकड़े नहीं जाने वाले, right? So I am a little dicey, but at the end of the day, whether it's milk or vegetables, no. What I always believe is know your source. Otherwise, you can't eat anything. Even if it is milk, the dairy that is getting me milk, have some faith, know the source, do the basic study that you can,
Okay.
and go with it. If it is making you feel good, because if you get, the laws are not strict at all here. We will get there hopefully, but no, not yet.
So, tea, let's talk about tea, which is like a daily, thing it's a ritual, right? For millions of people in India. चाय के बगैर होती नहीं है, चाय पे चर्चा, चाय पे मिलना. और तो चाय का क्या सीन है? How much is harmful, and दूध वाली चाय पीनी चाहिए या नहीं? ये green tea और fancy जो सारे teas है, what would you recommend?
See, as Indians, no, we have been we've been drinking masala chai for centuries now. Okay. The poor did not afford milk, so तब वहाँ milk नहीं होता था. But masala chai is staple Indian drink, which I feel is not causing you any harm. If you want to talk about things, then let's talk about the sauces that are being blatantly sold. Let's talk about pav that's being blatantly sold. Let's talk about, the adulteration in spices. Bichari chai ko kyun itna humne, we've spoken a lot about it, but for me, as I told you, let's go back in time where I said that I don't want my clients to fail. Neither do I want to fail, right? If that chai is going to mess with my brains, that I didn't have chai, and because of that, I'm going to be able to have this and that and then give up, I'm going to add those 2 cups of masala tea. They do nothing. Okay? Nothing at all. Whatever is being spoken about, acidity, chai की वजह से हो रही है. रात को whiskey पीती boss. चाय को blame.
Ati.
Isn't that happened? Mahal, nobody wants to talk about it. Right? May, it's 40 degrees, it's freaking 50 degrees, you still want to have wine? Babes. फिर चाय पे blame कर रही है. Empty stomach tea लिया. What did you do last night? Hello? So we are in the business of convenience even with our brains. Let's be real. Chai kuch nahi karti. Also, we wanted to plant chai is bad also because we wanted these big coffee chains to come. Okay? 25 रुपए की चाय, 350 rupees की coffee. Right? You want this culture settling in India, and we, I don't know, we have this thing where anything firang is good.
I love coffee too, my black coffee.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is coffee culture, surely.
Coffee, sure, yeah, right. So that's how it works. It is not a problem, but chai ke saath jo pakode hai na yaar, that is a problem. Chai ke saath biscuit. Now biscuit also, I love when our clients come and say, kuch nahi khati. Sham ko it's only a cup of tea and 2 biscuits. I'm like, auntie, we did it for 30 days. You ate 60 biscuits.
True.
हेलो सिंपल मैथ्स मल्टीप्लाई बाय 30. मैं रोज 8 आलमंड्स खाती हूँ. कहाँ से वेट लॉस होगा? 8 3s are 250 almonds. That's a lot of calories. So when you're trying to lose weight, yes, food is healthy and unhealthy, but healthy also has a bit of fat. Logic. Nut है. Nut को हिंदुस्तानी सभ्यता में nut जैसे खाना था. Even seeds, you have to eat, seeds. Chalk लगाना है, but we eat chia seeds, and then we say मुझे bloating हो गई, मुझे constipation. It's supposed to be seeds, right? We are in a country that's really, really tropical and humid. We cannot afford to have chia, which retains so much water and could cause constipation. We already struggle with water intake. Logic, and a little bit of education.
What are some of the popular but wrong food combinations that you'd like to bust once and for all?
For me, we have specialized in modern nutrition science. So when there are comments even on our social media feeds, where then I respectfully bow down because that's an Ayurvedic concept. What we learn is we learn food and drug interaction. So if she's having, say, vitamin E tablets or vitamin E capsules, what should be the food she should pair it with? So our knowledge is as per that. But some very stupid social media, combinations, if I have to point out, the first one is ghee coffee. Babes, वो घी कॉफी जो हमारी celebrities पी रही है ना, उसके बाद there is not a single gram of fat going in their body. No, for us, the ghee will come right in our rotis. Mom is not going to allow you. Okay, and then in the evening when you're going out with friends, there's butter pav with bhaji. Or there's pizza loaded with cheese. So no. Hello. So I tell my clients, सीधा सीधा बता दो, रोटी में से घी निकालूं या रात को सिर्फ पाव भाजी खाओगे तो बटर बनाकर खाओगे. It's balancing out. It's just calculating. Oh my God, everybody starts doing ghee coffee and they're like, मेरा weight loss क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? Babes, because throughout the day that little one didn't have anything. She was working hard. So we listen to half things. Again, breakfast bowls, right? Everybody is ditching poha. Poha is bad. Poha gives you sugar surge. Centuries se poha khate aa rahe. We are, battling anemia as women. Just add a little bit of nimbu, add some sprouts in your poha, educate yourself, yeah. Do all that and make your poha healthy, but nahi. Hum khayenge breakfast bowl. Now, breakfast bowl has Greek yogurt, calories, also a little protein, but fat. You'll put pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds से oil निकलता है, babes. Flax seeds, 42% fat. Now you're loading it and you're loading it and you're loading it. And granola is very high in calories. And then that breakfast poha, which could have cost you 250 calories. Silly girl, you're eating that lovely bowl Instagram showed you. That's 800 calories. So these are the silly things we are doing. Let's be Indian. I mean, yeah, these are some things I wanted to call out on.
Wonderful, wonderful, Khyati. One piece of advice for young nutritionists starting out today.
Try not to have your Instagram handle before practicing nutrition under someone qualified for 3 years.
Thank you, Khyati, for taking out the time today in our episode. And if there's one food, brand that I think we could talk about and recommending, which one would you say?
It's food brand. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? A
yeah,
brand.
yeah.
Whoa.
Any food brand that you feel that, somebody should take back, like I buy vegetables from 24, Mantra Organics.
Huh.
Would there be something that you would like to endorse
Uh,
or?
for me, I'd say the key takeaway would be, guys, start cooking a little.
Okay.
Rather than just going and buying anything, cook a little. That is something I would like to, tell you guys.
Thank you, Khyati, for taking out the time today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast with me, and thank you.